'cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's not enough, baby, you wanna, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. I wanna leave, you understand. I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna stay.
Jack it in here. Welcome back to another episode of Time Attack Rivals. This time here we're Mike Almond and a really nicely done Subaru STI. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the biggest Subaru guy. Am I, Alex?
Probably not.
No, this is well done. This is what happens when a Subaru is done right. Done pretty. Aggressive. I was gonna say restrained, but just aggressive. Anyway, Mike, walk us through the car, how you got started with it.
I bought the car in 08.
Also, you bought it brand new.
Bought it brand new to race. It was never really a street car. It's probably got about 10,000 street miles out of the 30,000 that are on it. So we initially did pro solo and solo for several years, probably about 7 years, and decided to get into Time Attack in the end of 14. So we have a Lumalite splitter, trying to keep it cheap. You know, we've been going through a few of those the last few years. So a Lumalite splitter, Tony Barber at Turning Concepts built that. He pretty much did all of the front end, including the V-mount radiator setup, because we were having cooling issues. So we V-mounted the front radiator and intercooler. However, that took us out of global competition from doing that.
Really?
But yeah, that's one thing that they don't allow you to do is change the radiator angle. So why, I don't know, but they don't.
Yeah.
IAG block built by Turning Concepts.
IAG are good people.
Yes, full Turning Concepts build. The heads, everything on here is done by Tony at Turning Concepts. We have the new G Series 3770 Turbo, which, if you're wondering, is incredible. Transient response, and we came from the 3076 Gen 2. Transient response on this is night and day compared to that. We're getting about 600 pounds of torque at 4,200 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs, which is pretty good for this, this Subaru engine.
Is this 2.0 or 2.5?
2.5, full built stage 4. As they would say for the closed deck block. Pretty much everything on the front end of it's been changed as far as splitter, V-mount, still wet sump. We have the new IAG oil pan. That thing's incredible. We haven't had any low oil pressure issues in cornering, haven't had any issues with starvation of any sort at all, other than fuel. We're really happy with it.
So it seemed like, honestly, if you look at it, this feels a little more approachable. Obviously the V-mount is badass, and I really like this.
This hood was made by Spade Sport. It's actually the first Subaru hood that they made.
Good job, Spade, Alex.
Yeah, they do an excellent job out there, and we made it specifically to line up with the V-mount. The V-mount, obviously, the way it vents out the hood, it caused some more heat under the hood, so we had to hardline everything from there because the first session we went out after the V-mount was put in, we melted all the hoses off of everything back there. So
really?
Immediately, yeah, within 2 laps. So
Jesus,
surprising.
I did not know that. Yeah.
we had to hardline everything just to keep that stuff. There was, you know, once there was no airflow, it was getting pretty hot under there. From there, we have AST suspension. These are getting pretty old, and we're trying to change these right now. We wanted to get through the season. We're not sure exactly. We have a couple of options with offers that we're going to go over in the off season and get some different suspension on it. This stuff's getting old, and instead of rebuilding it a 3rd time, we're thinking get into something a little better. These are a little loose at the top hat, so you can't even rebuild that out. It's the shock tube itself is getting wore. So the aero is pretty basic, honestly. It's all Alumilite aero.
Is this piece 3D printed?
Yes, those Tony made these on the 3D printer, and believe it or not, it makes a difference. It makes a stabilization difference, I would say. It's not something you're going to say, oh yeah, now we're faster, but it is a little bit of a stabilization, I believe. So then on the side we have Alumilite side skirts, I guess you would say. We just put those on at before the last Gingerman event, and another thing, extremely helpful. Those things, I didn't know a whole lot about side skirts, had never ran them until these, and that also stabilizes everything. Those and the side skirts actually made a big difference as far as stabilization. So we have the AP Racing 5000 Pro Series and 355 millimeter 6-piston brakes. Right now we're running the PFC01 pads and some Volk Racing wheels. These are the Time Attack series wheel, which are extremely light. We love those, and extremely strong. We kept bending the other wheels that we had. And then inside's pretty much everything's pretty. We changed the seats, put a half cage in it, took everything out of the back of the car. Other than that, it's just race seats up front. The whole, everything else, the hood liner, everything's in there. Changed the mirrors out just to save a little bit of weight. Yeah, it's reasonably stock. And then we just put a new carbon top on it. This was put on here just recently. That one's Marsh Composites, does excellent work. He also did us a hatch. We just haven't got it on yet. So the hatch will be coming before the spring of 21. Zero Racing, actually, we've been using their wing for 3 years now. We love it. I mean, honestly, we'd like to eventually go to a little bit bigger and chassis mount it. Yep. But it's done us a lot of good. These guys at Zero are excellent people. They've helped us a lot. The rear diffuser, actually that came off an old Formula car. That was a good aero, helped me out with that, and we kind of retrofitted it. We can go up and down front or rear.
Rubbing on anything, but a little bit.
Yes, Turning Concepts hooked us up with this wrap. This thing is incredible. I mean, I didn't even know it was being done until it was done, or what it would look like until it was done. And
they did it to your car without telling you?
Well, they told me, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to look like. So
you're a brave man.
Yeah, they did a really good job on it.
It is pretty though.
A lot of people actually have come up to me and said, "Oh, I've seen you out there, but I didn't even know that was your car." So, and in the back we have, we took out the OEM tank.
Was it fuel cell?
Yep, and we put a fuel cell in it.
Wow.
When we put the fuel cell in there, we started having issues with, at 170 degrees, ethanol, it turns into a gas. It vaporizes. So this is actually a cooler for the fuel. Has nothing to do with the radiator. So we put that on there, and more than enough to bring the fuel down to where it's no longer vaporizing once it gets to the front. Again, caused by the V-mount and no airflow going through the front of the car. So without that, it acted like it wasn't even getting any fuel.
Right.
So, and we just recently had to put in an extra fuel pump. So it's got 3 fuel pumps. It's got 3 450s in it.
3?
Yeah, it's got.
It's
got 1 in the tank. It's got 2 in the tank and 1 in the surge. Yeah. And it's all run by the live wire. Tony just set that up before this event in order to use this turbo. We were maxed out on fueling and stuff with this turbo with the old setup, so we didn't have any choice but to redo all that. Relocate the battery in the back. Obviously, we just did that for weight.
Shout out to Anti-Gravity.
And yeah, Anti-Gravity, good products. So we did finally put in a fire suppression. We had another shop car at Turning Concepts have fire, and a really bad fire, and we were gonna put it in anyway, and this kind of just kicked it in the butt. And it's definitely been a long project. We've had the car, like I said, since it was new, and it's been through many transformations, and here we sit now with Time Attack on the schedule for the years to come. We're done with Solo, obviously. We got a stock 6-speed in it.
08? That's like super long range.
Yep. We have the 08 stock 6-speed in it. Competition Clutch provides us with support, and they have for several years. We have their dual clutch in here and flywheel package, and yeah, we've never had an issue. Actually, this clutch has been in there for a couple of years without issue. So it's just one of those things we don't have to think about. We have guard transmission differentials in there out of Australia, so and they're incredible as well. Night and day. I mean, stability under braking, coming out of a corner. I mean, you know, all the way around, they're excellent diffs. They definitely do the job. This one right now, we're about 650 to 670 at the wheels. And
wait, what?
Yeah, so we're about equal with Jackie.
Wait, no. Okay, repeat the number again, please.
About 650 at the wheels. That's
not equal.
That's not equal.
No.
That's like at least 40 more than our highest map.
Okay. I thought you were 6. Okay.
No.
It's definitely got some boogie to it. It just.
It might boogie more than Boogeyman.
I think Boogeyman is still more. I think Boogeyman is still more.
He likes to talk low the numbers. We all
and
know
also you have to, because he's changing motor every event.
That's
pretty
true.
much. This is like amazingly reliable for.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting this much horsepower.
We've ran, this is 10 races on this engine. We ran the end of last year, all of this season, and for Subaru reliability, it's really good.
At 650 horsepower.
You have to understand, it's also 2.5.
Yeah, so it's the weaker one, right?
Realistically, the head gasket shouldn't take it at all, but somehow, like, what did you guys do to have it? Yeah, you guys make it work.
It's got the Firelock system, IAG's Firelock system for the head gasket. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
So basically, kind of they cut a groove into the deck and also the head.
Yeah.
So the head gasket actually have like an O-ring, like
a
metal O-ring around it.
It's
It's kind of a derivative from like old diversity technology.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, IAG came out with that a couple years ago, and it really still factory, just closed deck.
Closed deck, but with a ring.
Yes. So.
Damn.
And we have
ideas.
14mm head studs.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah.
Otherwise you lift that.
Yeah.
So, and for what it's worth, we did run out of those 10 races.
Yeah.
We probably 4 of them we were about 600 or 580 horsepower. So.
It's still a lot.
It's still a lot, yeah.
Because I know your car's always been very reliable. And
it is.
When I heard the number 650, it was like, how?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. No, we've been really lucky.
I always tell him, like, any Super Beyond 5 is like a time bomb. It can go off anytime.
Yes.
Yours is the most powerful and yet most reliable car.
We're running about 30 pounds of boost right now.
Yeah.
We bought it to race, and here we are still racing it. You know, I actually just took the plastic off the floors from 08 when it came new, just about a month ago. It still had the plastic on the carpet.
Wow.
So.
Doing pretty well this weekend too.
Thank you, Jackie. You guys are too. This
is what, second place in
yes,
Street Mod.
Right now we're sitting second place.
One more session.
We're hoping to change that when we go out, but
kind of missed the face. Kind of missed the facial expression.
So
it's been very reliable.
08 and been racing since
08. Yes. So
into perspective, I was
and
11 years old.
And it's kind of funny because the first people that ever supported us was AMS out of Chicago. So the car went there first. You know, we had a lot of work done for Pro Solo, obviously not for this. And they did a lot of work for us back then until they started, I believe in 12 or 13, they quit working with Subaru.
So if anybody has a Subaru and wants to turn it into something like this, where do they go?
Yeah, get a hold of Turning Concepts. Turning Concepts is in Southern Ohio. Tony Barber down there runs the show down there, and they're excellent. They've been road racing and all sorts of racing for 2 decades or more, and he really knows what's going on. When they've been working with us for a long time, and in the beginning it was kind of slow. Well, the last couple years they've done everything. I actually haven't even had my car at my house in the last over a year and a half. So. They've been really taking care of us and keeping us on track, and that's a huge part of our reliability is what they do between events and making sure they're on top of everything. So
honestly, prep work.
Prep is everything. I'm really glad to have them. I'm lucky to have them on board, and we'll continue to support Turning Concepts.
I think this car has always been fun to watch. I really enjoyed looking at it. It's just like, it's got a lot of nice details on it. That's super, super well done. I love that the wheels matches the livery in the car. I love that the aero is spaceport. We sell that. We work with them. Of course we love it. It's just nicely done. And I think that goes a long way. And this weekend you see like time tumbling. This car is quick. Like we could tell it's quick. So
I'm honestly, I didn't thought this thing makes this much
me
power.
neither. Me neither.
Because otherwise I would assume it would just keep blowing up.
We'd be laughing at him not doing.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm amazed by the amount of power this thing is pushing without, like, it's over a year of full season on the motor.
Yes.
That's nutty.
At like
That's crazy.
power level that's deemed to be pretty, like
Pretty
stupid for
Slow
Subaru.
uppy?
And also it's a 2.5.
Yeah,
Makes
it
it
is-
even more exciting.
So the weaker of
Yeah.
what they do.
And we don't drop below 58 pounds of oil pressure anywere on the track.
That's amazing.
That's,
I learned something today.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now Alex is gonna go home and want to build another Subaru.
I mean, my Subaru is still perfectly fine. Just need to turn it up a
Turn
little.
it up a
And then
little.
it'll blow up like you.
Yeah, and this,
Thank you all very much for watching this episode.
I appreciate
Thank
you
for
guys
showing.
coming out and showing our car off. Thank you.
But now when you're getting a Subaru.